Assalamu alaikum. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam referred to Muharram as Shahrullah al-Muharram, the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is one of the sacred months. According to some scholars, it is the greatest month of the 4 sacred months. Ashura simply means the 10th and refers to the 10th of Muharram. Historically, it is a special, a unique day that connects many of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's prophets and messengers. It is a day of relief, a day of victory, a day of praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course, later in history, it becomes synonymous with the tragedy of Karbala. However, the importance and sacredness of Muharram and Ashura predates Islam. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha and Ibn Umar all mentioned that Ashura was a day on which the people used to fast even before Islam. Fasting Ashura is recommended. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Fast it, for I expect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive the sins of the year before it." It's interesting to note that we are a unique ummah. When the Prophet ﷺ found the Jews observing the fast on the day of Ashura, he ordered the Muslim community to fast 2 days to make themselves distinct and to show that we have a closer connection with Musa alayhi salam. As for understanding the Hijri calendar and how did Muharram become the first month of the year, the Khalifa Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu announced that the year in which the Prophet ﷺ migrated from Mecca to Medina would mark the beginning of the Hijri calendar, and the first month being Muharram. Now it's interesting to note, the Islamic calendar could have started from the birth of the Prophet ﷺ or the date of revelation, but instead they chose the date of the Hijri. Why? As this marked the beginning of the Ummah. It marked a new era of implementing Islam as a political authority and transition of the Muslim Ummah from a handful of individuals to a state in Madinatul Munawwara. According to many of the Islamic scholars, Ashura is the day numerous major watershed events in Islamic history took place. To name a few, Nuh alayhi salam is said to have been given relief and salvation after being at sea for almost 6 or 7 months in his ark on this day of Ashura. Tafsir Ibn Kathir mentions that it was on Ashura that the ark of Nuh alayhi salam came to a rest on Mount Judi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala split the Red Sea, gave victory to Bani Israel, who had been enslaved for hundreds of years by the pharaohs in Egypt. The mighty, tyrannical Pharaoh and his army were destroyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Musa alayhi salam and his people were given victory and established on earth as its rulers on the day of Ashura. The martyrdom of the beloved grandson of the Prophet ﷺ, Hussein ibn Ali radiallahu anh, was one of the most tragic events in our history. But this noble ummah needs to be able to find hope and inspiration even in this tragedy. Hussein radiallahu anh stood up against oppression and the tyranny of Yazid. He sacrificed everything but refused to compromise or acknowledge or accept the tyrannical rule of Yazid. Lessons for us to take away. Just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave relief to Nuh, Musa, Ayub and Yunus, just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed the tyranny of the pharaohs, the oppressors and the people of Nuh, likewise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will soon give us relief and victory to the oppressed of this ummah, be it Palestine, Kashmir or Ash-Sham. Just as Hussein radiallahu anh stood up against the tyrant Yazid and his oppression, stood up for the true Islamic rule, likewise we also need to be principled. We should be people who don't compromise our Islamic beliefs, and we should be the people who work to end today's tyranny and to work to establish Islam.